When I had first started watching MLP, I had instantly gravitated towards Pinkie Pie for her extroverted nature and sense of humor when there was little else to work with. Fast forward to today, and Pinkie remains my favorite character. She spends her days feeling that her only purpose is to help improve the lives of others, has a personal obligation to spread smiles wherever she goes, and she loves it. Pinkie derives her joy from the joy of others, and that's what I find the most admirable. How she does the job she chose for herself, loves it, and the fact that that job is making others happy. But as the embodiment of the element of laughter, what else would you expect? However, with that title may come unintended consequences. Not only is Pinkie the element of laughter, but as we've seen here in Party Pooped, now that Twilight is the princess of friendship, Pinkie is now a diplomat of sorts. When the axe arrived, everyone turned to Pinkie to make peace and keep them happy. The pressure was square on her shoulders to please their guests, and she was able to pull through. But this episode introduces a new worry for me, something called the Overjustification effect. The overjustification effect is when an excess of external forces that drive you to perform a task, called extrinsic motivation, causes a loss of internal drive to perform said task, called intrinsic motivation. To put it simply, when your passion becomes your work, it begins to feel like work. Pinkie Pie, even though her job as a party planner, has managed to avoid overjustification thus far. However, there are two major new extrinsic motivations as of Party Poop that may help tip the scales, maintaining peace and coming through for her friends when they pressure her to do so. If what was shown in Party Poop continues, I find it likely that Pinkie's intrinsic motivation, the self-gratification that comes from spreading happiness, will be all but lost. I'm not saying that this necessarily will happen, but it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, and even if it were to happen, it wouldn't be irreversible. Since this is Pinkie's only true passion, it's extremely vulnerable, but it's also treasured. I think that if the overjustification effect were to take hold of Pinkie, the process of trying to gain back and reinforce that intrinsic motivation would be a great experience for her character. Not dissimilar to Pinkie Pride, but different enough to still provide important development. Will Pinkie really get Party Pooped? Only time will tell. I'm Capslock, and I'll see you next time.